Hey everyone, welcome to the Crypto Beach. Today we've got Chloe with us. She's going to talk about her experience getting into crypto. She's going to drop some tips and tricks and give us some insight on the trends that are most interesting to her. So without further ado, Chloe, go ahead, take it away.
Hi, thanks for having me. So I first got involved in crypto in 2017 because I've been in adult work for 8 or 9 years now. And the place I used to work, we had a lot of wealthy clients, and so they would be involved in things that not everyone would be involved in, so crypto being one of them. And I had a friend who worked there. She had a client who had a whole bunch of mining farms down in Mexico because the electricity was cheaper. When you're mining for crypto, you need a lot of electricity. So anyways, so that's how I got into it. He had told us to invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin at the time. And Ethereum was like $300 or $400 when I first got into it. This was just before the bull run of 2017. Litecoin was like $70 or $80. And then Bitcoin, I think it was like 4,000 or something. Super cheap compared to now. Yeah, so for me, in my industry, banks have always been an issue where they're just always interfering, where they won't want to pay us out because of our work. And it's really frustrating because, you as the customer want to pay me and I would like to receive that money. And they're like, no, this is not happening. And I know other people outside of my industry have had issues with banks as well, but my industry especially has issues. So it's very hard to get paid. And online I work now, and there's just constantly issues about getting paid out. So that's the main reason why I like crypto. It's like it removes this third party, because for myself, I don't understand why we have banks. I don't need someone to babysit me. I don't need to pay someone to have my money when I don't even want them to have my money. I don't need anything that the bank has to offer, or like their low interest rates or any of it. I just think banks are a scam. I think they're a scam that we've all been led to believe in because we had no other solution. And crypto kind of cuts that out. Another thing I learned because of my industry is I met a lot of people internationally, and say you're from a particular Arab country, for example, and you want to send your mother money, you got to go through like so many processes and fees just to send her money. With crypto, you would just send it. Say she needs money for food or whatever, she's in a second or third world country, and this seems to be common. I've learned, we don't know about this stuff in Canada or maybe the States, but it's very common that children will send their parents money in other countries, but the ropes to like send them money or the fees are just ridiculous. So with crypto, you would just send her money and she would receive it instantly, instead of like waiting days or weeks, maybe not receiving it, having to have a passport and all these other ridiculous things going on. So it makes more sense to me. So I love crypto for that. But now that NFTs have been introduced, and like games and stuff, it's more fun. It's way more fun. It's introduced this whole other world of crypto, other than just like making payments easier, and with the metaverse as well. So it's just, I haven't had much faith in society up until crypto, because it brings people together the way we're like naturally supposed to be brought together. Like people are social creatures, and instead we have all these like third parties kind of managing us, and I don't understand why, saying what we can and cannot do. Why,
So you
yeah.
were into crypto in your line of business, advised to get Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. You had an Exodus wallet as well, right?
Yeah, so I started with Exodus wallets. There was not that many wallets a few years ago. So I had Exodus. I still use Exodus. Exodus is a wallet on desktop and now your cell phone as well. But I like Exodus, maybe because it's the first one I ever got. And then I also have a Ledger wallet. So that's that little USB thing as your little cold wallet. But now I have multiple wallets, many, many, many wallets. I'm kind of trying to try them all to kind of see like, what's cool and what's not, what features like, what's not. But yeah, Exodus was one of the OGs and they're still going strong. I like them. I highly recommend them. They're easy to use, even still for a beginner. Yeah, because they weren't, some of these wallets have been a bit confusing, but Exodus is easy to use. I also use MetaMask. That's one that a lot of people recommend. I also use Coinbase wallet. Let's see, there's the Trust wallet, there's Gemini wallet. There's a whole bunch.
Keep track of all of the balances in all of your wallets.
I mean, I like that sort of thing. I like organizing and stuff, so I write things down, you know. I mean, it's just good to have multiple wallets in general, but you could have just one. If you're going to have just one, I think MetaMask would be a good start, just because it integrates with the Chrome browser and the Brave browser. And then just go from there. Start with one.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So any other tips or tricks that you would recommend for someone who's new in the space? I know you had mentioned something about using YouTube a while back.
Yeah, so back in 2017, the US wasn't as involved in crypto. It was mostly Asian markets. So I would mostly have to follow like Korean news, which was very difficult because I don't speak Korean, to try to figure out what was going on. And then I also used YouTube, and I would use the cointelegraph.com, which is still around, which is awesome. So I would just spend hours and hours each day looking up all these different things to learn about crypto. And now there's even more information, which is wonderful. So YouTube is, you know, a good place to start. I listen now to Alex Becker, Aliel Trades, and there's another one. Let's see. There's only like 3 that I really listen to. I mean, people can kind of decide for themselves, but
yeah,
there's another, what's he called? He's really good at explaining stuff. Coin Bureau, he's really good for beginners. Like, he really breaks it down. Coin Bureau, and he's been around for many years as well. So I like a page that's been around through the bear market and stuff, and isn't just kind of jumping onto the hype. Yeah. But yeah, YouTube I feel is the best place to learn. I also use Clubhouse a lot. There's one that I go to a lot. I go to the Rundown. They're the only ones I go to in the Clubhouse. They're seasoned investors. They're very loving, wonderful community. And then I spend a lot of time on Twitter Spaces. So just these informal chats to kind of like get information. But I understand not everyone wants to be like heavy learning into crypto. So I do think just starting with a wallet, just download it, fiddle around with it, get curious about it, you know, click on the features. It's okay if you don't understand, because that's how you learn. You know, it's not like we're born talking, born walking, all that good stuff. You just see, it starts with a curiosity. So just download some wallets, look around, and then from that curiosity, you can kind of, you know, go down your own path, you know?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay, so what kind of trends do you think are pretty interesting in this space?
I definitely think ZK rollups, because scalability has been a huge issue with Ethereum since forever. Ethereum 2.0 has been coming out for years. Like, I preferred Litecoin for the longest time because the fees were so low, and now the fees are outrageous for Ethereum. You know, if you want to buy an NFT or stuff, it's like the fees are a few $100s just for the gas fees. Like, imagine loading up your car to go a couple feet for like hundreds of dollars. And then you have to buy the NFT. So it's just, it's not very approachable. So ZK rollups are scalability layers on top of Ethereum to make things cheaper. There's other platforms that have cheaper fees in general, but this way you can still use Ethereum. I do think the adult industry is going to take off. The gaming industry, absolutely, because where do people put their money for entertainment?
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
What do people do in their spare time for entertainment? If it's not drinks, it's going to be, you know, the other forms of entertainment. So it just makes logical sense to me, right?
Yeah.
People like games, and people like, you know, other forms of entertainment. So I definitely see money flowing into those. And it's the comfortability too. It's like people kind of started with the memes, you know, and then they're going to the games, and then I see it going to adult, as well as the ZK rollups, because you need the space to host all of these wonderful things coming to be. Because when Ethereum was made, it wasn't meant to host as much as it is hosting, you know, and it's just overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that's being shoved on the blockchain. So and after that, it'll be interesting to see. I could see the beauty industry getting involved, like all these like big industries kind of like finding their way as they see what's going on with the previous industries, right? But who are the first like risky ones to take the jump? Well, it's usually memes, it's usually games, and it's usually porn.
As it was with Web 2 as well, like in the internet,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, right? Like I remember, like I first used the internet in 1998, and so I saw the internet before www, before there was Euro. I remember seeing something that had a domain on a bus, and I was like, that's weird. I remember like no Google. I remember all these things, and the web was very, very different. It was very social. It was kind of like a metaverse, but just informal, you know? So I missed that, and I see us going back to that with Web 3.0. My cat says hi. Before this, you know, the corporations stealing our data and selling it and stuff, it's going to bring it back to the people, which is nice, peer to peer, which is how it should be. Yeah, you want to say hi? Kitty cat.
Oh,
oops, wow. There we go.
Perfect. Okay, well, you know, thank you for your perspective. Thank you so much for telling us your story on how you got into crypto, because it's going to help folks to feel more comfortable with what's going on and validate that it's not a scam.
No, it's just the next phase of the web, you know, because Web 2.0 came about. There was no Facebook before. There was so many things. There was no Google Chrome, you know. Yeah. We used Internet Explorer. We had dial-up.
You did. You're right.
So it's just, you know, it's just another version of that, and it's great. So I'm really excited for how things are evolving, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, thank you for showing up on the podcast. Do you have any shout outs that you'd like to share here before we wrap things up?
Yeah, so like I said, the channels that I think are good for beginners, the Coin Bureau, Alex Becker, Elio Trades. For Discord, definitely go to, or sorry, for Clubhouse, the Rundown Discord. They're wonderful people. 24/7, you can ask any beginner question, no matter how dumb you think it sounds. They're more than happy to help. Like, they're so dedicated and wonderful people, and they're all like, many of them are seasoned investors too, you know. Many of them, you know, were beginners as well, so it's just nice to have a warm, welcoming community. Twitter Spaces, I follow a whole bunch of like people on Twitter that are like deeply involved in, you know, crypto. So once you go down the rabbit hole, you'll notice there's Twitter Spaces and stuff. So yeah, just kind of experiment around, download a wallet or two, just have fun with it. And then once you get more comfortable, you can just go, you know, the path that works best for you. And then you might be spending all day studying crypto, but
that's a journey for everybody, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so thanks again, and you know, we look forward to having you back. I mean, we're trying to figure out a cycle for how we're going to do this, but we're just trying to bring awareness. So we always have folks wave by on the podcast. So
thank you.